Hey, what's up, guys? Been super busy this week, and I actually realized last week that I did not actually post a video. So I recorded some videos of me working, but I did not make the time to post it. So for that, I apologize. But this week, I want to talk about. I guess we've already talked about finding the realtor. We already talked about finding the lender. So let's start talking about a little bit more of the process. So now, presumably you found a great real estate agent that will do a great service for you, and obviously we talked to you about some of the questions that they should be asking. So now, um, it's actually like time to start looking at homes, right? So ideally, I don't know about the MLS system in other states, but at least in Hawaii, and I assume most of them are probably very similar, is that we can actually send you access to the MLS as our client, where you can see the properties that are available on there that fit your criteria. So ideally, your agent should be sending you that access to that information, and also ideally, this isn't a hard number, but it's just what I prefer. At least 30 properties, but no more than 30. So really, I'm looking for a range of 20 to 30 properties that fit what you're looking for, and preferably in that 30 to 20 to 30, maybe even 40. You'll scroll through there, and we might find maybe 5 10 properties tops that you really think you might be interested in seeing, right? So, and from there, once you look on the MLS, you look at those, then I'm going to go back and look at them, and then I'm going to point out things that maybe you might have missed as a client, or that you just didn't see, or you just don't have, you're not privy to that information because you're not an agent. So especially for here in Hawaii, things like maintenance fees, HOA fees, um, I'll already filter out any leaseholds, but a lot of times also, no matter what we as real estate agents say, Zillow, realtor.com, trulia.com has done a great job of convincing you that they have all the inventory when they don't. And they also don't give you all of the information as well. But like I said, they've done a great job marketing. And so a lot of consumers nowadays do believe that they have the same access to the same information as a real estate agent. It's not true, but hey, sometimes the truth is not necessarily people's reality. We always say perception is reality, even though perception may not actually be true, right? So clients we usually operate on perception, not really truth or reality. So with that being said, I as an agent should always be filtering out the properties that you say, hey, we want to go look, because it's not just a, hey, this one looks pretty, that one looks pretty. It's like, well, wait a minute, you said you wanted a backyard. Oh, wait a minute, it's a condominium, they don't allow pets, and you've got 2 dogs. Or hold on a second, you said you wanted something closer to the elementary school. Well, this one's a bit further away. Or, oh, by the way, I'm not sure you know, but this one, it's very near to the bus stop. So yada yada, and so on and so forth. So that's really what you're going to be looking in the next step, is just kind of identifying properties that you want to go take a look. Ideally, the first time you look at property, it's not really a big deal because you don't really know each other. So you and the agent, you guys probably have sat down, look at some pictures, but I've just found that a lot of things come out when you two are together and you're actually looking at a physical property. So once you've done that, then usually that's where a great agent will be able to just determine a lot more of the details that you're looking for, the nuances that you just forgot to mention during the getting to know you period, right? That initial interview. So after that, I try not to show any more than 3 properties per day. So even if we have all day, unless obviously there's certain circumstances. If you come into town, you're like, hey, look, I'm flying into Hawaii, I got 48 hours, let's look at 20, 50, let's look at 20 properties. I'm going to put in an offer on the one that I like. Boom, let's do it. Okay, that's different. But usually it's people are coming, they're going, hey, we're ready to buy, or hey, we're ready to upgrade, or just got to island, you're military, and you're like, okay, I've got 30, 40, usually about 2 months to decide what I'm going to do. I've got temporary housing. Let me take a look at the market. And normally in those cases, I'm not going to show you more than three, maybe four tops per day. And that's just really to prevent you from getting confused because um, there's just we have a limited capacity in our brains. So after about 3 or 4 properties, we start forgetting about that first one that we saw an hour and a half, 2 hours ago, right? And then we start mixing them up and we start blending the details of the property. We go, wait a minute, was that the first one or the second one? And So rather than confuse you, just gonna keep it simple and say, hey, 3 properties, maybe four tops, and I'm gonna ask you how you feel about each one. Hey, do you think you like this one? Would you want to see it again? Would you want to kind of put this in your quote unquote shopping cart, right? Or you want to completely discard it, take it off our list, right? What was it about it? Condition, quality, whatever it was, right? So that's what I'm gonna do at that point. And we're gonna do this for as long as it takes. Preferably, we only have to go out once and twice, and then you write an offer. But sometimes I've found that that's just not realistic. Even though I've done my job as agent, even though you've done your job as a client, sharing what you're looking for, sometimes it takes us working together a month, 2 months to really find that great property, or just for that one property to come onto the market. Right? It's new. We find it. We go, oh wait, we've been looking for something like this. This is great. Let's put an offer. Right? Sometimes that's just the case too. So your great agent should be willing to show you as many properties as it takes, as long as you are serious about buying when you find the right property. So that's also another standard, I guess you could say, I have, that any great agent should have, is that they're not gonna try to get you to buy on the first property you lay eyes on. And while yes, they will push you to make a decision when they know the property is right for you, they will also not force you to buy or not try to push you to buy when they know that they haven't really found the property that you're looking for, right? So, just because we've seen 10 properties, I know all 10 of them are close, but they just aren't the one that make you jumping up and down. Well, then we're gonna go look at another 10 until we find the one that does, right? And here's the thing: I've found, a lot of people talk about sales and this and that, but what I found as an agent, being a great agent, is that the house that you want does not need to be sold to you. You don't need to be convinced on that for the most part. The house that you want, you walk in and you go, yeah, this is it. This is the one. You just you just fall. It just makes sense. It falls in love with you. You go, yeah, this is the one. Or the other thing that happens, you go, man, this is, especially if it's early in the process, you go, man, I really like this one, but it's so early in the process. Let me go see if we can take a look at a few more just to make sure. But in the back of your mind, you're always thinking, yeah, that first one or that second one, or that one that I saw, that I highlighted, favorited. Yeah, I think that's the one, right? So we as agents, we have to pick up on that and know those things, but at the same time, not be such in a rush to just push you into anything, just because it looks good. And also, once we determine what property that we do want to submit an offer in, right? There's a whole nother strategy there for, depending on if you're competing on price or competing with another buyer. They have other offers, yada yada yada, so forth and so forth. So we'll talk about that in the next video, as far as the price of the properties when you're buying it, and how in some cases you might be able to save 10, 20, 30 grand off of the price they're asking, depending on whether or not they are overpriced or fairly priced, and what the overall market's doing, but also what the local market's doing, and what's going on with this individual property that you are interested in and desiring to buy. So with that, I did it. It's actually my first um, video that I've done in less than 15 minutes. Looks like I'm almost under 11 minutes. And oh, by the way, please forgive me for this. It's just been a super busy week. I know I'm a little furry, but I will get that taken care of. And the next video you'll see me, I'll be a little more clean cut. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. Got this video made. I'll be putting it out soon. Subscribe. Also, if you have questions or comments, I really would appreciate it if you would share some of the questions you may have, or what are some of the things you want to see me talk about, or subjects you'd like me to cover. Because again, I'm really here to help you guys. Want to focus on the military, but really this information is good for anybody, right? And yeah, it doesn't matter if you're working with me or not. Obviously, I want to help you, but even if you're, like, say, in another state, you already got an agent, you just got questions and things like that, let me know. I'll try to help you out as much as I can, guys. All right, so with that, I'll shut up before this video turns long like the rest of them. All right, I'll see you guys next week.